Jurassic Park 7/Jurassic World 4 Rebirth is almost upon us, and so since I make YouTube videos, I am contractually obligated to make my ranking and reviewing video for the previous films in the franchise. But unlike another movie coming out pretty soon, this was a delightful prospect. I bloody love this franchise. I love dinosaurs. Like all boys aged 3 to 8, I picked one of these 4 things and based my entire personality around it. Now, as an adult man, I may not know the names of all the dinosaurs, but I still bloody love them. And I have a massive soft spot for this franchise. But even still, I was wildly surprised by how much fun I had on this most recent rewatch of 5 of these 6 films, despite a lot of the films potentially not living up to the absolute cinematic perfection of the original film. My biggest and maybe only real issue with this series is that for some strange reason, it has this stranglehold on dinosaurs in cinema. Sure, we have wonderful stuff like Dinotopia, Land Before Time, and We're Back. And let's not forget about documentaries like the masterpiece Walking with Dinosaurs. But for live action big blockbuster cinema, if we're talking dinosaurs, it's pretty much just Jurassic Park. Not to say it's even this franchise's fault we don't get more blockbuster dinosaur films, there are probably other contributing factors. This is one of my favorite franchises of all time. Now sure, it's not my favorite franchise, or my second, or my third, or my 4th, 5th, 6th, or 7th, but it is absolutely my 8th to 12th favorite film franchise. And honestly, I think the sequels get a pretty bad rap. That being said, number 6, Jurassic World Dominion. The strange irony that the least remakey film in the World trilogy is the one that feels the most unoriginal, creatively bankrupt, safe, and lazy. We finally dig up the fossils that are our legacy characters for one last hurrah, but rather than the exciting nostalgia it's meant to elicit, it feels sad and tired. Scenes of awe and wonder are remade and replaced with barren CGI fields of nothing. A painfully pointed metaphor for the entire film. But hey, even if digging up the long-dead fossils of our legacy heroes is a pathetic attempt to trick our brains into loving this film, at least there's dinosaurs. Kinda. Well, it's mostly giant locusts. The Jurassic World trilogy had one massive trump card up its sleeve, and Fallen Kingdom seemed to have finally pulled the trigger. But after the island exploded, they just made a new island in the form of a big park reservation. Baffling, disappointing, embarrassing. The lack of balls and creatively bankrupt storytelling to not take this series into new unknown territory and finally live up to the name Jurassic World. Why this film isn't Planet of the Apes but with dinosaurs is maybe the single biggest misstep a franchise has ever made. The giant locust plot gets a lot of well-deserved hate, but it could have actually been used to give an actual reason for the dino takeover of the world. It was right there. We were this close to greatness. Instead of another island in Rebirth, we could be about to experience Mad Max but with dinosaurs. If only this film had had the balls to rip off the band-aid that is the status quo and plunged us into a dino-apocalypse. But let me stop talking about what the film isn't and let's talk about what the film is, which is an overstuffed, soulless corporate checklist of nostalgia-bait references, legacy fossil action figures thrown into uninspired rehashes of previous set pieces without any real sense of danger, urgency, or consequence. If a big feathery fingernail freak can't save your film, something terribly wrong has happened. In theory, the idea of a Mission Impossible / Bourne globe-trotting espionage black market action film but with dinosaurs is actually fucking sick. In theory. In execution, it's about as formulaic, underdeveloped, and derivative as one could possibly fathom. Also, I know I'm the only one who cares about the lore in this franchise at this point, but it really frustrates and annoys me that they retcon the clone girl's origins so that she was born by her mother, which completely strips away all of the tragedy and heartbreak of the old man not Hammond from the previous film. One of the most fascinating aspects of the World franchise is that BD Wong had transformed over these 3 films into a mad scientist, but now he's just like, oops, sorry, my bad, can I be a good guy now? Okay. absolutely lame and just wasted potential. I would have much preferred to focus on him in this final film as the antagonist, rather than the pathetically dull and cookie-cutter evil tech CEO we get in Peter Parker's father. Overall, I can't truly hate this film as much as others do, because, I don't know, dinosaurs are pretty cool and they appear in this film sometimes. But it is a truly disappointing film that is the epitome of wasted potential, and in my opinion, the only bad film in the franchise. Number 5, Jurassic World. Sure, Jurassic World lacks the Spielberg magic, the awe and wonder of these magnificent beasts brought back to life. But I really do love the idea of a fully operational dinosaur theme park. It's the perfect way to remake the original film, but take the franchise into new, unknown territory. I love how meta this film is and the heavy-handed satire. Sure, it's no Starship Troopers or RoboCop, but I think it balances its tone pretty effectively by giving us the thing whilst also commenting on said thing. I've also just realized how amazing a gory Jurassic World film directed by Paul Verhoeven would be, and realizing we'll never get that, I may never be happy again. Anyway, I do love that the park is open and running. There's a lot of fun to be had with that idea, and it's able to do its semi-remake whilst also feeling like an actual sequel that changes the status quo. The Indominus Rex is a fun, murderous psycho of an idea, and I love that people are bored of dinosaurs and want something new. There's some fun meta commentary at play, and it feels like a legitimate next step that could be taken if an actual dinosaur park was actually operational. An issue I have with the Indominus Rex is that whilst it looks cool and fun, it doesn't actually look scary, and even though CGI has come a long way, it completely lacks the tangible reality of the original films. The lack of practical puppets and animatronics and all that stuff is very noticeable, particularly with the raptors, who are just not as intimidating or scary at all. I really like the brothers' dynamic. It feels very genuine. All young straight white boys have been obsessed with dinosaurs and then kind of aged out of it for a little bit when we start to notice girls. I think this handles both those stages of your life and the brotherly dynamic of that really well. I know Chris Pratt's star seems to not have only waned but is dead for most people, but I don't know, I gotta be honest, I still like him. He is always charming as the roguish Han Solo type, and I love Bryce Dallas Howard in this. I like their characters, I like their dynamic, and I like them running about the jungle and stuff. It's a bit of fun. Also, more films' third acts should abandon all character development, themes and basic plot, and just have dinosaurs fighting. My biggest issue with the film would be that for a park that is open and active, I kind of think that the dinosaurs running amok when they all break free and there's thousands of people there should kind of be way more psycho. Sure, it's not going to have the blood and gore I would adore for this film, but I still think a bit more bloodless carnage and mayhem is just it's just a wasted opportunity. It's pretty much just the bird dinosaurs that run rampant, and I kind of feel it should be all of the dinosaurs. Show me a T-Rex eating like 2 buses of tourists. You cowards! I have also never understood the distaste for this psycho death scene. I honestly think there should have been about 10 of these sequences in a row. Overall, I think this film tackles its issues with some fun, clever meta-satire and smartly addresses the fact that this was never gonna be another Spielberg film. Also, that guy running away from all the dinosaurs, but still holding on to 2 cocktails, that man is my spirit animal. Number 4, The Lost World, Jurassic Park. Let us never forget that Mr. Spielberg, Mr. Hollywood himself, decided to not only kill a dog, but to have a T-Rex eat a dog in front of a child. Someone called John Wick. What if instead of 1 T-Rex and a vehicle next to a cliff, it was 2 T-Rexes and a bigger vehicle next to a bigger cliff? Sure, I mean, it's still gonna be tense and fun and look insanely good due to the practical dinosaur animatronics and all that stuff. But also, it's so bizarrely derivative and sequel-y. Now, don't get me wrong, I like this film, but I don't love it. This film does do heaps right. Raptors in the high grass, I'm looking at you. But does this still have that Spielberg magic? Kinda not. There's some filmmaking in this that is obviously brilliant and inspired, still looking at you, high grass scene, but, at least for me personally, something is missing. Compared to most blockbuster films, it's got heart and soul to spare, but compared to original Recipe Jurassic Park, it's dead behind the eyes. Wait, no, that's too harsh. It's without magic. No, that feels unnecessarily cruel and kind of not true. Okay, how to describe how I feel about this film? Everything about OG J-Park is in this, but worse, and less effective, and less scary, and less funny, less charming, less sexy, less thought-provoking. Ha! But this one has one thing the other film doesn't. Gymnastics. Oh, wait, that bit's awful. Forget the gymnastics. This one kills dogs in front of children. Wait, that's also insane and strange. Maybe I should just stop comparing them, because, if this is your first Jurassic Park film, it's pretty damn good. There's the Friar Tuck dino. Oh, finally, I found a good thing. Although, I don't know, the Friar Tuck is even better used in Fallen Kingdom. A better film. And that is probably the worst thing I've ever said and will ever say about the GOAT of directing. Sorry, Spielberg. But to be honest, you got bigger Johnny Wick-related concerns than my scathing 3.5 review. Number 3, Jurassic Park 3. Alan! The parents in this film are monsters, liars, kidnappers, and whilst they don't do it themselves, I think I could prove it in a court of law. Murderers. Screaming idiots running about. That's what about 30% of this film is. Screaming dummies who are not treated like the villains they are. The worst part of this film is that William H. Macy isn't ripped to shreds by a dinosaur. Absolute tragedy. You hate to see the villains of a film survive with no consequences or comeuppance, let alone win the film. I love how lean and tight and to the point this film is. They know we're here for one thing and one thing only. Dinosaurs. And they get straight to the dinosaurs. Sure, the awe and wonder of the Spielberg films is gone, but it's replaced with some really terrifying sequences and some great dino mayhem. This film is just really fun and genuinely scary at times. I love the delicious irony of the one film that's not about a theme park of dinosaurs is the one that feels most like a theme park ride. It's an adrenaline shot of dino madness that hits the ground running and doesn't stop, which I think is the best way to tackle a third film. Abandon the main themes of your franchise and just show me big monsters fucking shit up. Please and thank you. The raptors have always looked great, but they look particularly horrific in this one. There's still plenty of great practical animatronic stuff that's amazing, and I feel like a lot of the CGI, for its time, holds up really well, save some copy and paste wide shots here or there. I love the raptors in this film. They just look so good. I think they look the best out of any of the films in this one. Terrifying, creepy, and so much of it is at daytime, which I deeply respect. When you have these amazing practical animatronic puppet, whatever kind of crazy movie magic madness you have, flaunt it, show it. Sure, I love hiding the monster as much as the next guy, but I love even more than that having the effects and the balls to just let me watch these monsters and effects run about and cause a ruckus. And this film is pretty much just that for a super tight 85 minutes. The highlight for me is the pterodactyl scene in the giant cage. Horrific stuff. There are just so many moments where like a dinosaur will just like look at the camera or look at a character and I'm like, hot damn, that is genuinely spooky and upsetting in a way that I don't think any other film has. It just has this really pulpy, brutal, brief, quick, lean, mean, dinosaur-eating machine vibe, and I just love it. It's the one that feels the most like a horror film. That being said, I take that back. The first film has some really awful things. The one with the frilly neck, get the fuck out of my nightmares, please. Don't love the characters. Lots of idiots screaming and running about. But hey, The film knows they suck and barely spends any time on them, so I think it's mostly fine. Also, this film features 2 dinosaur neck snaps, which feels like 2 more than I would ever expect in a film, and I love that. The Spinosaurus is cool, and I don't know, I feel like I'm just saying things that are cool, because in this movie, it's just cool, and I love that it's just like, want to see some cool dino stuff? And I'm like, yes. Lastly, on cool things that are in this movie, there's a big pile of dino poo, just like the first film, but this time, they have to stick their hands into it. And that's cool. Number 2, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. This film is the best Jurassic Park sequel. Is it dumb? Yes. Is it insane? Yes. Is it maybe the most hot nonsense script, plot, and story possible? Absolutely. But I just love that this film went, if we're doing this, we're doing this. We're going 12 out of 10 on this bad boy. You thought one giant explosion as a dinosaur ran away was too much in J-World? What if I blew up the whole island and had every dinosaur run away from it? Yes, please, and thank you. We've had the film with the themes and the characters and the emotion and the awe and wonder. We have Jurassic Park. Original recipe Jurassic Park. We don't need another one. So why not just go literally balls to the wall, madness, insanity, psycho cinema that they just don't make in Hollywood that often. And so every time one little freak director gets to make his little psycho cinema film and make it for like $200-300 million, I'm always gonna be there to eat it up. Eat up the delicious, stupid madness on screen. It's so good. I genuinely love that this film is a Lost World remake, then suddenly out of nowhere, like 20 minutes in, it pulls a From Dusk Till Dawn, not once, but twice, suddenly turning into a dinosaur Noah's Ark Roland Emmerich disaster film, then becoming a gothic haunted castle monster movie where there's like evil billionaires who are buying dinosaurs at an auction, then there's a super evil dinosaur that's creeping into a little girl's bedroom like he's Dracula or something. I mean, what is there not to love? What about the idea of controlling dinosaurs with a sniper, where you point the sniper and instead of pressing a bullet to kill your enemy, you click a button on the gun and then a giant terrifying monster chases after them? Yeah. I mean, that one is hard to defend. It is probably the dumbest thing in the movie, and that is saying a lot. But what can I say? I love how dumb this film is. I love big dumb things. Sometimes. Almost every moment of this film gleefully abandons logic and reason for madness and unbridled chaos, and I just love the film for that. What if we took the subtext of the franchise and not only made it just the text, but the text is in bold and underlined? And sure, maybe this subtext turned text has some spelling errors, but what are you gonna do? Also, I feel like a lot of the CGI dinosaurs in J-World 1 looked cool and fun and I liked them, but I don't know, they didn't look real. Like, didn't feel like they were tangibly there on the set. The Indoraptor in this film is there on set. You cannot tell me that that is not a real dinosaur they brought back to life and filmed in this movie. It looks so real. It looks so good. It overwhelms me with emotion, which adds to all the insane, spooky Dracula haunted house shenanigans. Colin Trevorrow said that the Giga whatever the hellosaurus in Dominion was like the Joker. I don't know why he said that. A baffling thing, because it's probably the most pathetic and inaccurate thing ever said about anything ever, at least in cinema or whatever, you know, for things that don't matter. But the Indoraptor, whilst not like very jokery, at least has like a personality and a strange sense of wanting to play with his food and being a sicko, and I just love that. When he gets that guy who's trying to take his tooth out, he's just a weird little freak about it, and he's just having fun, and I'm having fun. Yeah, it's dumb. I don't know, man. I like when volcanoes explode. And dinosaurs are little freak boys. What can I say? Number 1, Jurassic Park. A masterpiece of character, themes, effects, and the quintessential dinosaur film. Massive shout out to the lawyer on the shorts getting eaten on the toilet. Only now as an adult did I realize he isn't actually taking a shit. This is a huge realization for me, and probably a turning point in my life. I don't know what I could add to the conversation that hasn't already been talked about to death over the last 30 years by cleverer, wiser, or even stupider people than I. So to avoid boring you with all the same old Jurassic Park stuff, I'm not going to talk about the greatest Jurassic Park film, but instead, the greatest dinosaur film. Number 1, Peter Jackson's 2005 King Kong. A gorgeously grand and beautifully self-indulgent epic film about a big monkey who punches dinosaurs and loves Naomi Watts. And honestly, is that not every man's dream? Also, did I mention it's super gross? Like, super gross. I still can't believe Peter Jackson, the man who made Brain Dead the best and grossest zombie film ever made, somehow tricked Hollywood into giving him not only Lord of the Rings, but then also King Kong? Epic 3-hour action-adventure romance films never have so much weird, gross, and horrific stuff in them, and I bloody love it. Giant insects and bugs that will make you sick. Gollum gets the best, most horrific death of all time, and it's insane that it's in this film. Dinosaurs are literally the coolest thing ever. The only thing better is a giant monkey punching them in the face. I've always said the only thing stopping Jurassic Park from being a perfect film is if Sam Neill had been 25 feet tall and punched the T-Rex in the face. This film is a happy middle ground. This film gets hate for the stampede sequence, which is about 3 minutes of a 3-hour film, but literally every other second looks insanely good visually. A masterpiece of style, creativity, and visual awe and wonder. Skull Island is alive, and I feel it. I wish I could go there, but also I would rather die than go there. What a magical place. God, I love this big monkey so much. Justice for Kong. He just wanted to hang out and ice skate with Naomi Watts. Let the big monkey ice skate, you monsters! Also, Extended Edition is a must. It's a travesty that the Pteranodon attack scene was cut. The only upside is the disbelief and excitement me and a mate felt when we found the scene years after release. Was a day I will not forget. King Kong is a perfect classical flavored monster movie, a masterpiece of cinema, and my favorite film with dinosaurs. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment below. I would love to know your ranking of the Jurassic Park / World films, and most importantly, where does King Kong rank for you?